Hey guys, just gonna show you a quick ZF run for gold farming. I'll go over my spec real quick. There's two specs you can take. You can either go Fire Frost or Arcane Frost. I would recommend, right now I went Fire Frost for PvP, but the impact can kind of fuck with your pulls if you're not like, if you're lower geared. I would recommend not taking impact because it can just make it harder basically. But I would recommend going fire if you want to go max efficiency on your mana pool, and it's just really nice to play with. I'll link both specs in description, but this is the spec I'm using right now. The other one uses clearcasting for your mana efficiency. This spec will actually require you to spam some Arcane Explosion rank 2 to fish for some clearcast, because rank 2 scales well with your spell power, but it's not a lot of mana. So the both specs play a bit differently, but I'll show you how to play with the fire one. You won't do as much Arcane Explosion in the fire one as you would with Arcane spec. So, I won't do a lot of talking at the start, mostly just my train of thought while I'm pulling. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can like min-max, and I'll be talking about like predictive movement from NPCs and stuff like that, and specific positions for each pull, and you can't really do that ahead of the pulls. So start at the start of the dungeon, just walking up to the graveyard. You'll notice I pulled something at the start. That's actually, like, those first pack, doesn't really matter if you pull anything, because somehow they'll just reset combat. Don't know what the logic behind that is, but yeah, they'll just reset combat anyway once we get around here. Yeah, I don't know why they just reset combat. Anyway, if you if you do pull something, you can always reset them by just walking up to this spot over here and jumping up here, and then just staying until they're out of combat. I guess I can show you later, but right now I'll just show you the pulls. So every time you come into the dungeon, you make the boss hostile. That's a key thing you have to do every time you reset. You have to make him hostile again. This will make it so the zombies will run up to the boss. Right now I'm wearing most amount of intellect and stamina gear I can, and I'm also using the Rune of Dawn trinket because they're undead. So that helps with killing them. So first pull, it's just like this. Open up all the graves. Link to that corner over there. Open these. And ice block. And then, like, how you want to get out of an ice block is, you see sometimes it will stack up a lot of immunes. You want to do it just after you had a lot of immunes come up on your screen, so you don't get like blasted when you come out of your ice block. Then you want to wait until 3 seconds in their Frost Nova so they all break at the same time. And then this is the predictive movement. We got a hunter over there. That's fine. I just run up to the enemies so they like stack up. You'll see it a lot in this video. Right now I'm waiting for my Cone of Cold in 3 seconds so I can do it at the same time. Bam, blasting them again. There we go. And I still have a lot of mana left because I have my mana potion, which drop in this dungeon all the time. I still have my mana gem. I was in the arcane build first, but that required me to pretty much use my mana gem every single pull and remake it. This saves a lot of time in the spec because I literally don't have to use it anymore. I'd rather use ropes of the Archmage or greater mana pots, which just drop all the time because it's way faster that way. Right, so we killed that pack, we looted them. Now I'm not gonna do the graves yet. I'm not gonna loot the graves. I recommend you do actually loot the graves first, because you might fuck up the next pull and then you lose all of those graves and the loot in it. But just for time's sake, I'm not gonna do that, because then I get a bigger cooldown on my Cold Snap and Evocate. Or shorter cooldown for the next reset. So just gonna sit here, drink up, and do the next pull. This pull is a little more complicated, but it's not hard when you get used to it. Just gonna run up, click all the graves. Oh, I missed them up there. In terms of loot, I'm gonna walk at them for predictive movement so they stack all up, and then I'm gonna Frost Nova them when I like walk past them. if you don't walk up to them, they're not really gonna be stacked once you want to Frost Nova them. So you really want to like strafe walk at them. Here I'm gonna stand still. Again, predictive movement. I need to stand still there because if I'm already running towards them and then blink, they're gonna hit me because the leeway is just insane. Okay, gonna come out of. There we go. Wait for 3 seconds on the Frost Nova. Flames are kinda cold. Run at them to stack them up. There we go. Stack them up a little more. Gonna wait for my Kona Cold. 3 seconds, 2, 1. There we go. You can also keep them in your Flame Striker really well if you like walk at them. Right, and that's the last ones. It slows down immensely because we have to loot. We're gonna loot all of the graves, etc., etc. The walking at them, predictive movement, is something you really just have to get a feeling for and get used to. You might die a lot here at the start, but it's not gonna be an issue after a while. So now we're just gonna loot all of the graves. I got a loot window up so you can see what I get. Graves mostly give Mage Weave Cloth, which I tend to auction off because they sell for like about double the price on the auction house of their normal price, or at least a third more, which is always nice. But yeah, just looting these. Now, for the next reset, we got one little problem, which is our Cold Snap won't be off cooldown. But at first, I'll show you how to just do this in 3 pulls. We're gonna do this and this in separate pulls. But at the end of the video, we're gonna have the problem again, where our Cold Snap won't be off cooldown, and then I'll show you how to do a 2 pull even without Cold Snap up. But that's kind of advanced and requires you to have knowledge of everything that's discussed in this video. So right now we're gonna log out. We're actually gonna use something on our alt, Nogar's bitch over there, which is this script, ResetInstances. You can also right click your portrait, but what I'd like to do is put that script into a macro, which also whispers myself. So I know the exact time when my first reset is, so I know when I can start again. So now I'll just do that on my alt, and I see 14:08. I reset it the first time. So after these 5 resets, I will know how much time I have to come back into the instance, because 15:08 will be the first time I can finally enter the instance again to do my next 5 resets. But yeah, you want your bags to be as empty as possible as well, because we're gonna do 3 runs, vendor, 2 more runs, and then vendor again. So Cold Snap 7 minutes. You can kill the boss. If you have enchanting, I definitely recommend killing the boss, because it's like 2 gold if you get the gloves or the staff. The gloves you disenchant, the staff you just vendor. And then he drops a lot of greens as well that you can disenchant for about 1.5 gold, or just sell to the vendor if you don't want to bother with that. Right now I'm not killing the boss because I don't have enchanting yet, but I think I'm just gonna drop my tailoring and get enchanting. I have engineering as the other one. This path is annoying. You can't skip him on the right, you have to take the left. You can also blink through him and stuff to go faster, but... Okay, so right now, Ice Block's still on cooldown, so I'm just gonna do a single pull here. Get full mana. Whatever, good enough. Oh, I didn't activate the boss. So what I'm gonna do is actually freeze those. That's a mistake on my part. Activate the boss. Just gonna wait a little, so I have more time. Right. And then just open the rest of the graves. Right, get some predictive movement going, run at them, stack them up. There we go. Holy shit. Okay, so that was a big mistake on my part by opening the graves without aggroing the boss. I forget sometimes when I'm when I'm doing these single pulls, I forget sometimes because I don't know, because I'm retarded. Yeah, these mobs hurt. You definitely don't want to get hit by them. Let's let the last one get finished by flame strike. Hit him with staff. Alright, and that was a single pull. So right now we're gonna clear the instance in 3 pulls. No. I'll do the double pull, like the double pull without a cold snap at the end. Because if I fail that one, then I can do this normally. Because this is my first take on the video, so I hope it goes well. I obviously have died in here a few times already. So just gonna mana up. Once you're resetting, you also want to be drinking while you reset. You can also use better water, of course, to make this go faster as well. But right now I'm just slacking off using the normal water. I want to have cooldown up on my ice barrier again, so we're gonna precast it a little. Waiting. I know it's a bit hectic by not doing an explanation at the start of the video, but it's kind of hard to explain everything at the start when you can't show it. Alright, gonna link to the corner again. You saw this pull already. Go. After this, you can kind of skip like 10 minutes ahead in the video once we've entered for the first time, and we come back and we do the 2 last pulls before we're instance capped. Just stacking them up again. Every time you do an AoE, you want to be moving as well to activate your leeway. If you're not moving, all of your AoE spells are just have a closer range than normal. Or like not as far of a range as normal. So you want to be moving when you're casting Arcane Explosion. Definitely with Frost Nova, you want to always be moving. Otherwise the range is drastically lower. Right, so we started here with opening graves, so start here with opening as well. I know we haven't done that part over there yet, but if we don't open these graves now, they're gonna despawn. So right now I'm just gonna let my mana and health regen while I open the graves. Just to not mess up 5-second rule, I do those as well first and then open everything just so I can maximize the mana, the 5-second rule for mana. Because right now I'm not casting any spell, so it's like reloading my mana. Right, there we go. And then this looks easier because it's not that many graves, but it's actually harder to stack them up than this pull over here. This pull is like definitely the easiest pull because they're pretty much all stacked up when they arrive. If you do the prediction well of running at them to the sideways like in an arc and then cross novaing them, you should have them all stacked up. Okay, I'm gonna start with this grave and then go to this one. There we go. Just open them all. But as you can see, like those are already over there. So we're just gonna use predictive movement again. Run at them. Don't stop. Again. And have them all stacked up. Okay, they hit me for a little, it seems. Okay, getting them nice into a ball. You really have to be strafing as well. I don't think you can do this farm without strafing, because Cone of Cold is already hard enough to hit in Classic. You really want to be strafing to hit your Cone of Cold. But as you can see, guys, like I have 1,000 mana left. This is definitely not gear dependent or anything. I have my mana gem left. I still have pots. When there's like one ad left, you can just hit it with your staff while you're looting. This is really not an issue. There we go. Just gonna be opening those last ones. So now we have Cold Snap and Ice Block ready for the next reset. And we can just do a double pull again. We should have enough space in our inventory as well. Seems about enough for another reset. Now if you're doing the boss as well, you could run into trouble in your inventory, but then you can just throw out these broken obsidian clubs. They're 260 per stack, and it's not really worth it keeping them in your inventory, or the scrolls, because they're only 112. You can throw those out as well. So it's just gonna reset again from my alt. There we go. You can use a starter account actually, but if there's a queue on the server, you can't reset because starter accounts get kicked out as soon as there's a queue on the server. But you could just use a level 1 on a starter account. Otherwise, ask your guildie every time to reset you or something like that. A friend, if you have those. Got this fun little add-on as well, which can tell me like how much you're making a day. It's fun to min-max this stuff. So you should do this farm once you get it down correct. You should do it in about 40 minutes. I'm doing it in about, well, we'll see how long this video is. But I do it in around 30 to 35 minutes. If everything goes well and I don't forget to activate the boss like last time. I got the nice. Alright, activating the boss, getting full mana. So this is just gonna be a normal 2-piece again. You can skip it if you don't want to see it and go straight to the last one. Because after this we're gonna go to town and then we should have a normal 2-piece like this again. I don't know if I said it already, but you want to wait until there's like a big pack of immunes that come up of your out of your screen and then go out of your ice block to avoid most of the damage. You can also like check when most immunes come up and then wait another time because you know they're gonna come up and then go out of your ice block. And they're all stacked now. Just gonna wait for my Cone of Cold. In the other spec, most of your damage is gonna come from your arcane explosions, but here it comes from your Cone of Cold and your Flame Strike. Don't worry if mobs resist your Cone of Cold, just keep pushing them into the group with predictive movement and keep just making a little circle so they walk back into the pack. You'll all get used to that stuff once you do it enough. By the way, I recommend witch doctors and what are the blood drinkers aren't really a problem, but I should have cold snapped first. But the hunters, if that patrol is a hunter, you definitely want to kill those because they can be very, 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 very annoying. And I've gotten very frustrated from hunters because they shoot, they don't miss, even though you're higher level, and they can even have a chance to polymorph you, which doesn't break on damage, which is very annoying. So yeah, you definitely want to kill the hunters if that patrol is a hunter, or just let them pass because they have a pretty long. There we go, freezing them. If you're not confident enough, you can always do 3 pulls at the start, but I just like to do this in 2 pulls now. There we go. I'm walking backwards and blinking because otherwise the time on your ice block isn't long enough, so the ones you opened at the end won't reach your ice block before you come out of it again. And that's a problem. Do you see how they're getting stacked up? There we go, can do another corner cold. Freeze them again, wait for a corner cold again, 3 seconds. Keep them in our flame strike by running at them. I'm just showing you how to be the most mana efficient. And there we go. I haven't had to use my gem once yet, so you can literally add another 1000 mana to my mana pool, which should be enough to make up for the gear that I have. And also Robes of the Archmage and mana pots. I use health pots way more than I use mana pots. As soon as I lose a little health, after I leave my ice block, I instantly use a health pot. Just to be topped off and safe from any burst that's incoming. So we started with this pull, so just gonna open up the graves here. I don't really have to worry about... The only thing that's worth gold in these graves are Mage Weave cloth and silk cloth and gold covered tusks or some shit. So they're, yeah, those things. 12 tusks. They're 13 silver piece, which is quite a lot. But right now I'm not able to loot these obsidian thingies, but that's fine. Like, they're not worth that much. They're the first thing you throw out of your inventory, aside from scrolls, so that's fine. Yeah, I got the Mage Weave. There can also be greens in these graves, so it's definitely still worth opening if your inventory is full. Yeah, I definitely suggest you you get your 16 slot backs in order for this farm. There we go. So we're just gonna do another reset right now, but we're gonna be walking out afterwards. I like to use my Hearthstone when I start my farm. So I like to on the 5th reset, I like to just teleport out, do my auction house stuff, do some stuff around the house, or go fishing or whatever. And then when I start my farm again, I like to Hearthstone, go back to Gadgetsan, and start from there. It's faster to keep your Hearthstone for when you have to go to the city and stuff, because you basically just gain the time from walking up to Gadgetsan. I'll see if I can cut that out, but I don't think so, because I'm not very good at video editing, so we'll see. Right now I'm just gonna go to Gadgetsan. I'm not gonna start like worrying about disenchants or cloth or anything. I'm just gonna sell most of my stuff because I only have to do 2 more resets, so I don't need full bag space for that. But if you want to maximize your time and then AFK the rest of the time, you can definitely Hearthstone back, and then on the 5th reset you get Hearthstoned back anyway, and it doesn't go on cooldown. If you're reset capped and you're still inside the instance, it'll portal you out without actually putting your Hearthstone on cooldown, which is really nice. It's really helpful. I've also noticed like it resets my cooldowns, which was pretty fucked up. I was reset capped on like my 3rd reset last time because I was too fast, and it reset my cold snap and my ice block, which was very weird. I think it's a bug. Yeah. Closest vendor is about here, this guy. I just let my Leatrix plus sell most of my stuff. I sell some more basic stuff like scrolls, silk cloth. I sell the greens, not this one. I sell the greens that are don't have a high enough level for, I think it's called Dream Dust. Yeah, Dream Dust. I sell those greens. There we go. Should be good. These can actually be sold on the auction house. Guns and stuff like that, I sell. Weapons, yes. Parachute cloak I'm gonna keep as well. So there should be enough inventory space for 2 more runs. So we're just gonna walk back now. 5 minutes. I'll actually show the 2 poll first. without cold snap, and then on the last one I'll just use cold snap again. Yeah, so just skipping ahead in this video if you're if you don't want to listen to me ramble on this whole time. Actually, I'm gonna rebuff and make one stack of food, and then it can regen while I'm walking up to the graveyard, so I don't have to drink there. Min-maxing these small little things is addictive. And we're back. So when did I do my first reset? 08. So we're in 20 minutes now, it seems. Well, no, we did the first reset as well, so that's like 4 more minutes extra. So I think we started at like 04, right? Yeah. Might be on time for a half an hour then. With one little fuck up of not walking into the boss first. Should I try the... I'm gonna make this a cold snap run. I'm not gonna... I'm gonna do the simple pulls first. The simple pull. Yeah, I'll just make this a cold snap run. Otherwise I mess up at the end. Mess up now and I fuck up the whole thing. And then, as I said, at the end I'll show the hardest pull. Oh, we're just gonna do a normal pull now. The other one is a really big pull. Three seconds on my... There we go. Stack him up. Here I don't really care about the 3 seconds on the Frost Nova, because then I might get another arcane explosion with shatter as well. So, but on the first one you definitely want to wait for the 3 seconds on your Nova. Spam loot. If you're using an alt, you definitely want to put on free for all as well, otherwise you're gonna be needing on everything. Right, since we got 30 seconds on our cold snap left, should be good. I can just do it mid pull as well if I have to. Oops, looted something by accident. So I run back first and then I walk into them and get a good Nova. So not a lot of them hit me there. I got the cold snap. All good. Now we're definitely not gonna have it for the next one. 3 seconds. Make a death ball. Just gonna kill this one with staff. So if you have enough health left, you can literally just kill him with staff on every attack reset and loot enemy one. I can't loot that. What was that other tiger I got here? Oh, it's plate. I don't think that sells well. Leather of the tiger can always sell well for rogues and druids. I guess rogues want of the monkey though for leveling. There we go, a green. Edge masters can drop off the zombies, but they can drop off the dead heroes, so that's a little thing. So you won't get like crazy money with this farm. The best things I've gotten were blazing emblems. I've got like 3 of them before, and they've all sold for like 20 gold, so which is always nice. But some of the blues have just DE'd into shards because they sold better than the blues themselves. This is a very annoying level range to sell at because people are trying to save money around level 40 for their mount, so that sells good for alts, I guess. So we're coming up to 30 minutes in a second now, but it'll be like 5 more minutes, so yeah, 35 minutes. If you do this highly optimized, you can go to 30. Not with killing the boss though. Last reset. I'll do the safe pull first, and then I'll do the very dangerous pull. By the way, these scarabs are not worth farming. They hit very fucking hard and they don't drop shit. So yeah, not really worth it. Right. Oh, we actually got the rare. It's definitely worth killing the boss with the rare there, because the rare really doesn't have a lot of health. So we want to do an easy pull here first without ice block. Walk at them, stack them up. Wait for 3 seconds. Blast them. Keep them in your flame strike for a little while. Don't have to wait for Cone of Cold either. You can just blast them with another. There we go. But if you want to be mana efficient, don't use Arcane Explosion too much and just kill him with your Flame Strike Cone of Cold combos. Because you'll always get your 30% mana back with the Master of Elements, so it's definitely better than clear casting, where on average you would only get 10% back. Okay, now we're gonna prepare for a really big pull. This is if you want to do the instance in 2 pulls without Cold Snap, which you might encounter 2 times in each 5 resets. So first you want to go Cold Snap, no Cold Snap, Cold Snap, go back to town, go back in, no Cold Snap, and the last one Cold Snap. Or you turn those around, because when you went to town you might have your Cold Snap up again. Not with Hearthstone though, then you won't have it up again. Right. definitely want to wait on my ice barrier here a little bit so it comes up from cooldown again. You also want to have your gems, your archmage, your pots ready. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, and here we're basically just gonna keep going. When your ice barrier breaks, because they're hitting you too much, you just cast another one. There we go, cast another ice barrier. You see my blink is still on cooldown, so we have to get into the corner here. Blink backwards. And ice block. Okay, that was really fucking close. So now we wait for all the way at the end of our Frost Nova. There we go. Make a little ball. There we go, ball ready. We just let that guy hit us. Little lag spike there for me. I'm definitely clenching my butt right now. Woo. Don't try this on your first run. That pull is not a joke. And you need a lot of stamina gear for that pull. You don't need mana gear really. I still had I didn't really have to use my gem there, and well, I did have cooldown on pot. Don't try this with like suboptimal gear. Just do it in 3 pulls as you saw on the second pull I did in this video. If you skip that one, you can watch it. Yeah, pretty much just gonna loot the graves now and kill the boss, and yeah, this was pretty much it. I'm just gonna end the video here. I'm gonna put both specs into the description and maybe some TLDR notes there. If you have comments and stuff, just drop them down below or on Discord. I'll put my Discord tag as well, or people from the guild can just ask it in the caster channel. But yeah, cheers and happy farming.